order, and for those that can stand, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to April 8th, normal town board meeting here at Town Hall. We'll have the roll call.
Dan Wicker present.
Brietta Pitcock present.
Rex Snyder present.
Gene Gabber present.
Nathan Ulrich is present. Is that Bert?
No, that's Thomas.
Oh, okay.
I can speak for him.
Okay.
It'll be short and sweet.
Sure.
Mr. Laughlin had stopped in to, he had a concern about semis that were delivering at the gas station and then going down to Maple Street and turning west. And there's not enough room for them to make the turn and get back out on 40, and they're using his yard. So in speaking to Lenny about it, we ordered a no heavy,
No semis.
no semis,
No trucks.
that way, so that would either take them out in the country and come around, or they'll have to go Maple Street and come back around. So even though he's not here, hopefully that resolves his concerns.
Can you also go have a conversation with the store, sir?
Yeah.
Sure can.
Very good. I think that would probably fix it pretty quick, I would think.
If it continues after the sign is posted, is that something they could be ticketed for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thomas, you're up next, sir.
All right. I think I just have a pay app for you guys to consider. Let me get that pulled up real quick.
Thomas is from Commonwealth Engineering. He's taking care of our water grant for the town here.
Absolutely. Find Riley's. Pay app number 1 that has invoices on there. Water meter installation has been completed. Meter data has been provided to the town to update for the billing system. That will be reflected in pay app number 1, and then the next steps after that will be waste or work at the treatment plant. Info systems contract, yeah, Basson and Logan and Maxim will be out there. We'll need access, so I'm certain that we'll be in contact with Lenny to coordinate that. So you guys have pay app number 1 for a total of $190,641.25. That'll come out of the grant.
196.41.
25.
25. Okay.
Does that need to be motioned, or is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Need a motion to pay?
Draw number 1.
$108,641.25.
I make that motion.
Second.
Is there a second? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Continue on, sir.
That's all I've got. Work's underway. So I know that the contractor will be getting in touch with us and Lenny, and work's being done. So
Change order.
Do we have a change order?
I was told that they want to wait till next.
Okay.
They wanted to table that.
Okay.
So if you guys want to talk about that, I can. They want to wait till the project's closer to being done. So it'll be change order number 1, and that the contractor's requesting a change order for $4,315.03. And that will be for, I don't know if they gave me a description. Lenny, are you aware of what that change order is going to reflect?
No, I thought it was, okay. Yeah, we probably need to discuss that.
Yeah, they don't want it right now, so it doesn't need to be a topic for tonight.
Does that have anything to do with the valve at the tower?
Yes, I thought it was, but from what I'm hearing on those numbers, it's not, so that's why I said we need to have a discussion about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure we come with our ducks in a row.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, any questions for Thomas?
Thomas, what was that number again?
for 4315.
The 4315 for the change order?
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it, thank you.
You're satisfied with how things are progressing and timeline and so forth?
Yeah. It doesn't make its way down to me, so that means that the project's moving smoothly and they don't need me to come smooth over anything, so,
Very good.
yeah.
Lenny, would you agree with his statements? Very good.
And then also, just for, I guess, since we resubmitted the SRF application to the state, that reflects the changes to the preliminary engineering report that Rob presented back in February. So we will get the fourth quarter project priority list from the state here in about a month and a half. That'll be our first good idea of where the project will fall for the July project priority list, which would be the first quarter of fiscal year 26. So we'll keep an eye out on that, and then once we get that in, we'll regroup and see how we were ranked and scored. If there's any, we'll also have a 30-day comment period to look at our score sheet and then revise those scores if possible.
Do you have we'll just say a guesstimate on like when last day of project is, and we're gonna check off and say we're done?
For the Okra project, I could find that for you.
I mean, you think it'll be this year, next year?
I'd have to look at that project schedule that Rob provided, and I don't think that we're not on schedule. I think that we're gonna stick to that schedule. Let me find that real quick, and you guys can move on. And I'll let you know whenever I find it.
Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes from last month?
Yep.
If so, I'll seek approval. If there's no corrections to be made,
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes and adjustments as approved, or as
presented.
presented, yeah. I'll
Is
get
there a
it.
second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Officer Frame, you have a police report for us, sir?
So we had a total of 37 calls in last month. We had one abandoned vehicle, one business alarm, one animal bite that I believe was taken care of. We had one animal problem as well. 5 business checks, 2 cardiac arrests, 1 community policing, 1 escort, 1 fall from a height, 1 investigate mischief, 3 investigations, 1 crash that did involve personal injury. We had 1 suspicious activity call, 3 suspicious vehicle calls, 4 traffic stops. We had 1 unsecure building, 1 vehicle lockout, 3 VIN checks, 1 wanted person, and 4 welfare checks in the town of Dublin last month. The unsecured building was I think it's 1988 on Harrison Street. It's the one that burnt down in January.
The house?
Yeah, that house. I wanted to know, just for personal, if there was a plan to get that taken care of or
It is
not.
being tore down.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I did notice, I was the one that checked on that building. I noticed a screen from a window that was pushed in, and there's still some valuables and personal effects in there that I think someone might find a reason to loot it.
Surprised they haven't got it out.
Right, so I was just worried about maybe the building collapsing on something, but if it's being taken care of, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's not structurally that damaged.
Okay.
It's more cosmetics.
Good deal.
So, but yes,
deal.
it is getting torn down.
Okay.
They're just going to abandon the property. So,
Hopefully to be started next week.
while you're still here, I want to interject, Lenny.
Yeah.
With the crash, did we get the insurance information so we can bill that guy for our light pole damage?
I can find that out, I do not know.
Yes.
We did?
No.
Uh-oh.
I need that.
Okay, yeah. So that
Light
crash,
poles are not cheap at all.
oh, I bet not. Let me write that down in a note. And it was a light pole.
Yeah.
I noticed wasn't there a speed sign that was knocked down
Yeah,
too?
that was the states.
Okay, that's
They did
states.
repair that already.
Okay.
They did repair it.
The banner was okay with it. It was just the light pole itself.
There's a light pole
The-
still down.
I know it had a military banner on it.
The military banner did break the, one of the arms on
Can't go
that.
take care of that.
But I mean, the banner itself
Okay.
is
The
okay.
banner itself was
So we don't need to get
Okay.
the Legion involved,
That's one
so.
of the fancy ones on
Okay.
full.
Okay, so I can get that from that crash. And you just need the insurance from that individual?
Yeah.
Okay. And I will make everybody aware of the semi problem that's going on. Do you have the address to where the semis are pulling into? That way we can keep an eye on it.
It turns at Maple and Center.
Maple and Center?
So he comes from the east going west and then goes north.
Okay.
Basically what happens is he pulls south here beside the store instead of like maybe coming right in front of the store and just leaving it on 40.
Gotcha. Alrighty.
The hope is to have that sign up by the end of the week.
End of the week. Good deal. Alright, I will make
But it's
everybody aware.
if you're on Maple Street and you was to drive like straight into, it's that itty bitty little house.
Okay.
So it's like,
The tiny house. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Gotcha. Alrighty, I'll make everybody aware.
waffles, yeah. Even Tony Roberson owns it, I think, or he still does.
Sounds good.
Okay, anything else for Officer Frame? All right, thank you, sir.
Alright,
Good evening.
thanks guys. You guys have a good one.
All right, we'll have the fire report from Captain Myers.
March numbers, BLS runs are 180. We had 7 runs with Reed. Fire runs, we had 2 in Dublin, which entered the storm and the vehicle accident, and then we were a mutual aid run with Strawn on the structure fire, and 0 water was used.
Any questions for Captain Myers? Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Payne, you're up for the building report. Anything to advise on that?
Let's see, we have the porch roof, and then we also have the Harrison Street that we was just talking about for the demo of the house there.
You said they're gonna start on that this week or next week?
Yes.
Do you know where they're gonna put the dumpsters? Are they gonna be in the yard or in the street?
I have not talked to them personally yet. I'm sure when they get into town, I will have a conversation and see where we're.
If they do park it in the street, let's make sure to put some barricades around it, because them things are pretty dark, and I'd hate to see somebody hit it with their vehicle, so, yeah. All right, anything else on the building commissioner side of things? Yes, no, maybe? No, okay. Anything to do on building commissioner stuff? All right, we'll change your hat, put the superintendent hat on.
Okay. You have your reports.
I got a question for you.
Oh, no.
This is on your main employee. It looks like he did a water check at 5:30 at night on I don't know what day of the week that was. But it was wrote in. Do you know about that? Why we're checking water tonight?
Where are you getting that?
What was the date?
2 hours for water.
On time cards.
It's just wrote in, but it's between
I wrote
3:1 and
it
3:7.
in because it was on the back side. That was, you guys, what's his name? This is with broken meter. Teddy. I think that was broken
Teddy
over here
Lambert,
at
yeah.
Teddy's.
Yeah, is that where it clocked out?
Oh, so that's not checking water, that's
No,
fixing
no, no,
water.
no. They only test water that would be up here at the top.
That's what I was worried about.
I have Lenny put information on the back side, and then I carry it forward. So I guess I just assumed I knew what that was for, so you didn't need to. Sorry about that.
Just want to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. Gotcha. Carry on, sir.
Let's see, so. So you have your reports, and then I guess we need to talk about changing hours. I would like to go to 410s for basically production reasons, and also it would give myself that extra day so I could get my building stuff done. So I would like to see what the board would think about doing this on a trial basis to see how it works out.
So you would do your building commissioner stuff on Friday. Would you have set hours? If somebody wanted to come in here and talk to you about the permit or do an inspection or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, usually they call me anyway, so I mean, they can call me on that stuff.
I just didn't know if you had, like, say, I wanna do 4 hours every Saturday, or what your kind of intentions were, or I mean Friday.
Well, my intentions are that I can push as much of that stuff off to Friday and schedule inspections that I can or whatever, or do my paperwork for that stuff on Friday mornings rather than trying to do it through the week when trying to stay up on that with everything else. And it makes my job a little easier. And, you know, I think, you know, usually in the mornings we get drives, drains cleaned, water tested, then it's time to go to lunch, then you get back here and you get started and you get stuff rolling, and usually by around, you know, we start shutting down around 3, but, you know, we probably can get a lot more done from that time if we shut down at 5.
Under 10-hour days, you still plan on taking 1 hour of lunch break?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be like a 7 to 4 day, or what do you?
It would be a 7 to 5:30.
Monday through Thursday?
7 to 6, an hour lunch?
Well, we use our 15-minute breaks as part of our lunch, so we take those at lunchtime.
When you say a trial basis, do you want to try it for a month, a week?
Yeah, I think we try it for a month, and then we can readdress it next month and see what, you know, how it's working out for Julie. And, you know, we want to make sure that we're not, you know, creating more problems. We want to be able to get more work done and be more efficient. I just think it's just a timing thing for me, so.
And just to clarify, for the board and the people at home, Lenny's building commissioner salary is, he gets a weekly amount for that is included in his salary, so he's not gonna get paid overtime for working those hours on Saturday. He already gets paid for those. He just has to kind of fit it in his time, whether it be during regular work hours or at home, so this gives him time to do what he needs to do.
Now tell me how water testing will work on Fridays.
Well, that would be the other thing. It would increase one more hour through, you know, whoever tests on that day. So it would increase, like, if I test water on Friday, then Guy would test on Saturday, Sunday, or if Guy tests all 3 days, then he would get 3 hours that week instead of 2.
I think personally, I would like to see whoever does it does all 3 days at once. That way, if
Well,
you
really, your weekend, you know, stops on a Friday. So Saturday starts your new paycheck, or your new week.
If we do this, we would probably need to switch our weeks from Friday to Thursday,
Oh, okay.
so that it's,
Easier
so
on you, okay.
it keep them, all
Okay.
three of them
Wait.
together.
All right.
The other side of that is too, is that if we do have, you know, something that comes up on Friday, you know, it's the start of our week, so that way we can take those hours, and if we need to adjust throughout the week so that we're not paying the overtime, then we can do that as well.
I just think it'd be easier if you're planning a trip or something and you wanna go away on the weekend, you could go ahead and, you know, leave on your Friday that you're off and, you know, have your 3-day
We
trip.
generally do that. This past weekend, Guy tested all weekend because I had revival and stuff going on, and so he tested both days, so.
I know 410s work great in the factory and it gets a lot more production, and especially, you know, you don't have people calling in sick as often, and you can schedule a lot of your personal appointments on the day that you're off. I've never seen it in the municipality, you know, atmosphere, so it's gonna kind of be new for all of us. But I know as far as factories go, it's been very, you know, positive outcomes, so. Because it gives that person a day to do their personal business, like banking and post office and doctors, and so they don't have to take as much time off of work during the regular hours.
Now I wanna make sure somebody's available if we need them, if something major happens.
Yeah, I mean, no difference in right now on the weekends. I mean, you know,
Well, you talk to your help, because I mean, we've had problems getting a hold of him to,
yeah,
well,
I've talked to him a few times, and we'll address the next one pretty
We'll
heavily.
alternate weekends.
So the on-call person is now Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys think? Try
I
it for a
think a
month?
trial sounds good.
Okay.
I think your log should be a little more specific what you do and stuff, so we know what you're doing during the week to keep busy and stuff, so. You know. A little more detail and stuff, you're just kinda scattered here a little bit, but for the month, I think we need kind of, a little more detail on your work schedule.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with it as long as the work gets done, you know, if we got, how that's gonna affect the mowing and things, in the rain. Yeah,
Shouldn't affect it.
you're losing a day to shuffle on.
Right, we should be good. I think we should. Generally, we can get mowing done in about 2.5 days.
If the weather's decent. Well, it's just a time trial, just to try and see what happens. I think, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the new hours and for a month and see what happens. And
With the change of the pay schedule as far
Pay
as
period.
Julie's concerned,
change pay period from
make it easy on you,
Friday to
so.
Thursday,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, there's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor, aye?
Right.
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? All right, motion passes. All right,
Did you have any other updates on the, I put construction, but I mean the water? Since we're not doing the meters anymore, they're out there, is there anything else going on?
No, just basically waiting on them to come back. They've got, they have 2 valves put in. They have the water meters in. They have conduit run from one building to the other out here. They've just got to finish that up, run their wiring, and the pumps have came in. I know that they were anticipating those were going to be on back order, but Rob called me last week and told me that they had came in and that they were going to be moving forward on that. So he's going to get a hold of me sometime this week or next to get scheduled of when they can get in and start on that.
do you know when the actual water crew will be back in town?
No, I do not.
And the reason I say, and it may be fixed by now, but a couple of days ago when I drove by their job site, their porta potty was over on its side. I can't imagine what kind of hazardous material events going on there.
It's probably not a good one. Pretty messy situation.
Absolutely. You got something for us yet?
I do, but that's their problem. That's not our problem.
I know, but it's on my land.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, I do. So I actually have a few things. Update to that number. I didn't scroll far enough to the right. So that 195 is their payment. We hold 5% back on for retainage. So that number is actually 200,675.
200,000.
That would be the first pay.
675,
Yes,
even?
even.
Okay.
So we hold 5% back in case they don't do their work, and we don't give them all their money. So at the
We
end,
need an amendment to that motion. Who made it, I forget.
Gene made it?
We make an amendment to it, I guess, that's what we need to,
Okay.
make the numbers right, look good.
206,000 even with 75 cents. And our second was from,
Danny?
no, I'm sorry, that's
No, it's
$200,675.
No
oh,
cents.
675.
Yes.
75 and no cents.
Gotcha.
Bree, you still good with a second on that?
Yes, second.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Very good.
Completion date is July 27th, is substantial completion. Final completion would be a month after that. Rob expects them to be done before that.
Okay. Very good.
And then one last thing, this is more for Julie, since her favorite thing in the world is getting me town financials for USDA. I need those again.
Okay.
Now that the PER has been updated, and we've submitted that to SRF, we're going to submit that exact same PER back to USDA. So whenever you get a chance, send those over to me, and then I'll come in and we'll submit that to USDA.
Can you use, we're approving my financial report tonight. Can you use a copy of my financial report?
Simple as easy.
Yes, I will need that, but I'll also need year to date.
Oh, year to date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Year to date, but then also the past 12 months.
plus past 12.
Yes.
So January 24 till today.
Okay. I'll just send it to you. To Thomas.
And then the only other thing that I have, I don't know if this got brought up at all, I applied on the town's behalf for a earmark from Congressman Shreve's office. I would say chances of getting it are extremely low, because they wanted, ribbon cutting, big fancy projects like parks and things like that, and that's not the world we're in. But that was submitted on your guys' behalf, so if there ever is, somebody that reaches out to you from Congressman Shreve's office, because I believe Nathan, I put you as the point of
We
contact.
do got a park cutting ceremony coming up, so
Well, we were asking money for the water project.
I mean, it's not a big one, but we can
Yeah,
make it all go together.
absolutely.
Okay, anything else, sir?
That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lenny, we'll back up to you for just a second. Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Can you, and maybe you do it already, like write on a calendar for Julie's purpose and maybe me if I come in, if we have an emergency, that, who is on call that weekend, so we can have an idea, because I don't want to be harassing somebody if they're off and, enjoying their time off, so.
Right. Yep.
If we can make that available, like either on the big calendar or wherever, so we can, if something's going downhill, I can walk up here and say, oh, guy's on this weekend, I'm calling him, so. Okay, good deal. Yes, sir.
The other thing was, we talked about hiring part-time help last year, and we kind of put that on hold. I'd like to look back into that again if it's possible.
Part-time or temporary?
Part-time.
Part-time, okay.
Did you get any applications that are considerable?
I have one that he's supposed to come and get it tonight, so. But
As far as I recall, that was approved to do that. You'll have to maybe look back through the minutes.
We did, and then he said we're gonna hold off.
yeah, then I said we
Yeah.
just hold off until after, we got back into the summer.
I guess I would have to remember exactly what the minutes said, just to confirm, but I think we've realized, or we said that the finances were probably there because of our previous employee and how hourly wages were structured.
And then I only have the one other thing, you guys have the truck change, as far as we approved, was it last month? I don't know, they all run together to me anymore.
So we went up and looked at a bucket truck, and they were very gracious to do an inspection on it for us, and come to find out, the bucket truck actually has a bent frame. So they could have sold it to us without us knowing it, but I was very impressed that they found this, and so they decided not to sell it to us, and I appreciate that. So they did find another truck that's very comparable. It actually has a little less miles, a little less hours, but it is newer, but the cost is just slightly higher, which obviously, I mean, it just kind of goes with it. So this new price would be for $64,900, and that comes with a 30-day warranty. Plus, before we get it, they go through it and check everything and give it kind of a quick paint job on the rusty spots. And so this is a 45-foot tall bucket boom, and it's a 1.5 man, and it's a diesel. So, but it's got
40 foot or 45? It says
45.
It says 40 here.
40, isn't it?
What I read was 45.
Oh, okay, okay, it is.
And
Yeah,
Okay.
just to let everybody,
Okay.
and just to
Is that
clarify,
adequate?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
and just to clarify, when we approved you guys to go up and look at that, the motion was a maximum of 64.9, so you're within what was originally approved.
Yeah.
You found one originally for 55.9, but this one is still within what the board limited you guys.
So it's actually
Well, I
nice
thought-
because they actually are asking 73.9 for it, but they're gonna come back down to the price that we
Right.
were.
Okay,
Agree
and
with
is
them
that
on.
64.9, that includes that extra
Yes.
maintenance package?
Yes.
Okay,
So I was very pleased that they actually told us that.
yeah, I'm
so.
good with that.
I just wanted to touch on that so that everybody would be up to date on what was going on there, so.
So this particular truck's got almost 84,000 miles on it and 1,300 hours, so should last us for a long time, no more than what we use it. But It'll be a nicer truck because of how the actual bucket and boom works compared to like the scissor one we got now. This one actually is like a squirt, and they can get in tighter places and not have the boom sticking out in the middle of 40 when they're doing flags and stuff like that. So it'll be a lot nicer truck for the guys to use. So
Sounds good.
okay. So,
That's all I have. I believe unless somebody has something else.
everything looks good for the upcoming mowing season. Mowers are all ready to roll and
Yep.
no issues we should be concerned with.
Nope, we're all good so far.
Very good.
Keep them going.
We'll turn it over to Julie then for the clerk's report.
Okay. You should have time cards and fuel report. And that's it for my reports. If you want to go down and start working on old business unless anybody has questions. Okay.
So the bucket truck to Milton.
Yeah. We already talked about, that was the purchase change for the new bucket truck. The sale, we need to do an interlocal agreement with Milton. I need to verify that we told them 15 and not 12, because I've got two numbers wrote. So I want to make sure that we verify that it was the 15 that we discussed.
I thought it was 15.
Okay.
I
thought it was.
Approved here, but
Yes.
I thought that's what we approved, but I wanted to make sure. And then Bob is going to put that interlocal agreement together for us to approve at the next meeting, because I told him since this got pushed back, we could do it at the next meeting. I wanted to verify that dollar amount before we did.
With your conversation with him on the phone, was it still looking at about 8 weeks?
Yeah, they had already sent it to they had already sent the truck over with the anticipation that we were going to purchase it. So he already had told them to get it over there so they could start doing the inspections and do the checkout, check the frame and the alignment and do all the inspections, the dielectric test, all that stuff to bring everything up to date. He wanted to get all that stuff done, so if there was any issues, that he could let us know as soon as possible. So.
What we're talking about, before I forget, do we have more magnetic signs for it, for our insignia on the doors?
I like to check into some vinyl signs or something that could stick on there and stay on there.
Some
Those
permanent.
I
magnetics
like
falls
that a
off.
lot
Yeah,
better.
the magnetics
Fly
we're having
off,
problems
go
with, they
down.
won't stay on.
If you hit the interstate, they're gone.
Okay. Yep, we can look into some prices of that, so,
Okay.
not usually a high thing, so,
No, just something simple is all we need, but the magnetic, you just don't stay on very good right now.
okay.
And if they do stay on, they stick really bad, and they usually take paint off when they come off.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look at that.
Who?
Me and Lenny.
You and Lenny? Okay, that works.
It's like we got people to do it for the fire department and stuff, so it's easy to
Okay.
have them look at it while they're here and doing stuff.
Sounds good.
All right. Anything else on the bowl bucket truck? Just waiting on the interlocal agreement?
Just waiting on the interlocal agreement.
And have we had a conversation with Milton lately? Are they still
I
on
have
board?
not in the last couple of weeks. I will make a phone call tomorrow, and
I don't know when their board meeting is. I think it's tonight too.
I think it's
Isn't it?
At 7.
Okay. You might give him a call and see if they can discuss it to make sure we're all together before we pay Bob
Yeah.
to do an interlocal agreement. And that, I think that's it on that.
All right, you got annual financial report down. What's the conversation on that?
We have to submit that every year. It is now on Gateway. And so, everybody should have a, I think, a copy of that somewhere.
What's it look like? Well, I don't know that I've seen it.
This is what your copy looks like.
Okay.
What the whole thing that's online is all of this. It just goes into more
Would it be
detail.
this one that's sideways? for us?
Yes, yes.
I thought it was.
So this goes to who? I'm sorry, this goes to who? The state?
Yes, it is on the Gateway
Website, yeah.
website. They put all the stuff on there.
So
for
we
the
need a
financials
motion to
and
approve
stuff,
this?
so yes.
Even though we've already seen these every month, we're just
Yes.
double approving?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, we need to double approve the financial report to send to the state for the annual financial reports.
Make a motion to accept the annual report here that she's presented.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
This will be perfect. Did it Thomas, right? Perfect. 2 birds, 1 stone. All right, anything else under old business that didn't make the agenda tonight from the board?
No.
All right, we'll bump up to new business. Last month we talked about the, similar to the Reach Alert, it's called Up Ahead. It's a text messaging program that we send out from here that goes to the town residents and gives informational type of things. And we had some questions, so now we're back to having answers of those questions.
The main question we had was if it's another app that somebody has to put on their phone or anything like that, and no, it is not. Like the Reach Alert, you will sign up for it, and then when we have notifications to go out, whether it be hydrant flushing, power outages, boil alerts, different things like that, we can submit those out to everybody. This program also gives us, it's called a map selector, so like what we had with the boil alerts this last time, Lenny or I can go on there and he can say, okay, this area right here is under a boil alert, and I can pin that and it will automatically send only to those people that need.
Oh, okay.
Because last time, we ended up expanding that and it caused a lot of confusion. So there's a lot of good things with this, but with this, it's also two-way, so they can also text back if they have a concern, there's a cable line down, or there's a, serious pothole on such and such a street, or there's a grate that has popped up or something, any concerns that they have, they can also send those back to us, and we can forward that to the street department or the billing department or IMPA, wherever department it needs to go. So last year's price for Reach Alert, I think was, what did I say, $980?
Something like that.
This one is
No.
$1,488 a year.
Hello.
So it is a little bit more, but I think for what we get, it's well worth it. Bob did have a few questions with that, but we talked about it a little more. He wanted to make sure that in the early termination, basically it's the initial term is 3 years. So if we cancel before the 3 years is up, we would have to pay that out for the 3 years. We have had Reach Alerts since 2012, so I don't see us doing that. And it works exactly the same way. After that, it renews at a 1 year at a time basis, so we could terminate with 60 days notice at any point in time for that. And with that, the automatic renewals, as long as we want to, which is the same now, it will automatically renew unless we give 60 days notice. It does say that if we use more than 10,000 texts a year, there would be an additional fee. With our population and that, him and I discussed that and didn't feel like we would come anywhere near that 10,000, so he left us at the lower rate.
Is that 10,000 leaving here or 10,000 receivers?
It's 10,000 leaving here.
I don't think we're ever gonna hit that.
Exactly.
I hope you don't anyway.
No, and I did verify that.
Do you know about how many people right now are signed up for Reach Alert?
About 300. And I would like to try and get everybody on it.
Push it hard.
And push it hard. They are also going to give us media, whether it be brochures, things to send out so that they can watch the video that we watched, or get information to see how to sign up and try and help us publicize this more. I think the other question he had, warranties and damages. I don't know what kind of damages that you would get from this when all it is us pushing notification. If for some reason their system goes down, then our guys go door to door. You know, that's what we did before and that's what we'll go back to. So Bob was okay with that. And the only other thing that he was concerned about, because it talked about applicable law and venue, and it talked about Utah law, which is their main hub. And so he was going to talk to them about changing that to, if they're going to do business in Indiana, it should be Indiana law. So those were his concerns. He was okay with everything. He was going to talk to them and make changes to the early termination, the auto renew, and he wanted to verify the Utah law. So basically, he said if we liked the program and wanted it, we could make the motion to say that we would approve it with Bob's changes and his final recommendation, and then give approval, authorization for either Nathan or I to sign the final agreement, if that's what you choose.
Now, just for those listening in at home, this would be no extra cost to the customer. And then plus, they did waive the setup fee, so we would not actually have to pay the setup fee that other municipalities may have to do, so.
Which was like $1,400, I think.
Yeah, so that's a nice gesture on their part to get us as a new customer.
I like it, and I like the concept. I'm still a little confused. It does say that they can still use email on this page, but everything I'm seeing referenced is just text.
Okay.
So is this true? It says text, phone messages, or emails? Because then if you can do email, then this 10,000 text won't apply. And this also says text message auto responses. Responses are included in text message count per year. So that's the only thing concerning me. I know it sounds like a lot, but if you have 300 people signed up, that's 33 or 33 blasts.
Right.
Which is more than enough until people start replying and using it.
I gotcha.
That's I don't think we'll send 33 alerts, but.
We could, especially right now with the construction and stuff going on.
And then it does say additional 10,300 a year, which I'm also okay with that. But that's kind of like, I don't want to go more, like,
Right,
another 300, another 300.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
other than that, I'm good with it. I just don't think that 10,000 sounds, like, I feel like it could get tight.
Now, I have his number so that we can call him. He said if we had questions, we could call him at the meeting, or we could wait, however you want to do it.
Let's do it now. We'll understand it right now, so if you got a minute.
Yeah.
If he'll answer. In the meantime, we'll have, see what Lenny's got to say for Milton.
Quentin just called me back. He said that we had agreed on 13.5, and now that he said that, I think I remember talking to you, Nathan, about that, because we wanted 15, but we decided to take their 13.5. I do remember that conversation.
Now, is he on board with his town clerk with that?
Yes, they're in their meeting right now, and he just sent that. That's what he just called me. I told him to send me a text message, but he called and he said that, do we need to, he said that he would have, that Amy said she could send something over as far as an agreement. I told him we would probably just have Bob do it. I feel better having.
Well, it's more like a promise to pay is.
Right.
Or promise of, or intent of interest, I guess is a better way to put it. So, is everybody okay with 13.5 then?
Yes.
Okay, you want a motion for that, boss?
Yes, please.
All right, motion to sell the, what year is that, Rex?
82.
1982 bucket truck to the town of Milton for $13,500 as is. And we keep the equipment that's on the truck.
Yes.
We just get the truck itself and whatever gas is left in the tank.
I'll make a motion to sell it to Milton.
Okay, there's a motion, is there a second? All right, second from Gene, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes.
So we wanna have Bob draw that agreement up, or? do you want
Bob will
us-
draw the agreement up, but if
Bob was planning
Milton,
on doing it unless, you know, they want their attorney to do it, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Maybe I can have them pay their attorney to do it, and save us that $150
Yeah.
that we just lost.
Bob won't have to read it, he can charge you the same amount anyhow.
Or- Yeah,
yeah, if they can at least give us a letter of interest or just send Julie an email saying, you know, intent of interest, that should be good enough, so.
okay.
We will have to have the formal interlocal agreement when we actually do it, but a letter of intent would be nice now.
Yeah.
Hi Dakota, he's not there. This is Julie with the town of Dublin. The board did have a couple questions. If you could give me a call back, 765-478-4878. Thank you.
Okay, while we're waiting on that, we got a couple memorandums we need to approve, and this is with the county of Wayne. And this basically is saying for the 3 properties that we had tore down with the blight program that we had to pay those funds out, and then now the county will reimburse us for those funds, so. I'm hoping you will motion to approve that.
I'll give that motion.
All right, a motion by Gene, and
I'll second it.
second by Rex. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion passes.
And I believe the one thing that Bob did tell me about that is, it states that we have to have that in a separate fund, which I believe I already have one set up for that, so I think we're good to go with that.
All right, we got a cemetery cleanup day for April 15th. Is that gonna be weather permitting? Is there a backup date? Or are we just doing it the next day?
It's always just been like on the 15th, so.
They need to have their stuff cleaned up by the 15th, because when we go in on the 15th, we're cleaning everything so that the mowers can get in and do their,
So that's 1 week from today.
Now, does this include like the saddles on top of stones, or just what's on?
no, it's just what is in the way of the mowers.
Okay.
Any saddles and things like that are good to go.
What about grave blankets? What do you consider them?
They need to go.
They need to go.
They need to go, yes.
I'll put it on anyway.
I think Jimmy misunderstood what time we start, but we'll invite him in anyway. Okay, so have everything cleaned up out of all 3 cemeteries by this time next week.
Yes.
Otherwise, the mower may eat them up.
Where
So,
they'll be picked up.
and we'll put that on the reach alert that we currently have until we get the new
Yes.
one. Anything else to add to
We
that,
still have
sir?
the sign for put up here?
It's already up, yes.
It's already up? Okay.
Step ahead.
It wasn't up yesterday, but it's good.
They got it up today.
Okay.
We'll
Got
have
two signs
that.
up today.
He'll have that wrote on the monthly report next month.
And yes, the other sign is, one of the 2 Wilson Park signs is up.
Yes.
They did a very good job of framing it and everything. It's up next to the parking lot on the north side of the park.
I have a picture if you guys want to see.
So you guys are all welcome to drive down by and take a look at those, and hopefully they get the other one painted and put together.
Hopefully tomorrow.
We'll get it all done,
It'll be
and
put together tomorrow.
Marguerite will
Yeah,
be
looks
happy
good.
to see
Yeah.
the sign up there.
Marguerite's happy,
Okay.
we're all happy.
Yes, bless her heart.
Works in it,
Yeah, let me get my bifocals up here.
Yeah. Got your head right.
Also, the turtle's painted yellow too, so as we look into that, it should be out this week too.
No,
You did concrete this in, correct?
Yes,
Perfect.
it is concreted in. And it's built out of 6x6.
Man. Is it heavy? Your back hurting?
My back don't hurt. Excavator might have hurt mine, mine didn't hurt it.
Anything else under new business we did not get on the agenda? I want to kind of say thanks for everybody's patience at home when a couple weeks ago, we had our electrical windstorm to come through. Power was out for quite a long time, I will say. Unfortunately, I'm going to say that there's probably not a lot that the town could have done to improve that. We had several crews here from IMPA, and the town was full of IMPA trucks. I will say, though, that probably half of the issues that we had that knocked the power out was from personal trees, trees that the town has no control over. If you have a dead tree in your yard that's close to power lines, please do your best to take care of that. But most of the issues we had was because of somebody's tree that was rotted out and the limb fell or the whole tree fell down and caused the major power outages. And that's nothing the town could have done to prevent that. So that's all on private property. So I will pass that along to everybody at home. So
Speaking of trees, whose tree is that down there just before you get to the curve on the road from stoplight?
I don't know who lives there
Besides
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 Shank.
it's not, yeah, there's,
It's his tree. No, it's not Shank's. It's the house. It's the next house. It's
I
the
know
house
it
that's
was
in front of it.
their tree or if that tree belonged to the town.
No, it's their tree, and I actually had to go down and cut it and move it over into their yard because they're getting ready to put that sidewalk down through there, and it was sitting right on it. So
You'll notice Frontier's still got a huge mess down there, so hopefully they clean that up before long
Sorry.
too, because they've got
Just a minute.
lines covering their driveway, poles are down, laying up there broke. It's just a disaster. So hopefully they.
That same place?
Yep.
I had noticed the lines down there.
Yep.
Been a long year.
Yes, uh-huh.
More than likely, when somebody gets their mower out, they're gonna take care of it pretty quick. So
One way or the other.
yes. But Frontier could do a lot better job.
Well,
out there.
the concern is if it's per number of people, I've got 280, about 300 now. If we expand that, that's only gonna give us about maybe 30 blasts out if you're doing it per person. I don't know. How many do you think we would do more than 30? Hang on a second.
What do you send out? Maybe 3 a month on a rough guess?
You're talking total 10,000 for the year though, correct?
At
And
what
did he
cost?
say that the replies, that is another message, right?
Okay, the other side of that is since this is two-way, where customers can, send information back to us, does that count as additional as well?
I think so. Let me double check. Let me see if I can get it raised for you guys. I understand you're going to use it that much, which is great. Usually with small towns that use that much. Can I put you on hold 1 second? I'll ask.
You sure can. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Were those that was the only two?
About the email.
Email.
Oh, the email, yep.
He's gotta check with somebody else.
I have to look at the contract and see what it says, you know.
Hey, you there, Julie?
I sure am.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can understand how you have to use it. So yeah, we can do the 30,000 a year instead. That's fine. I don't think you guys will go over it, but if you're pretty bad, they're fine to do that for
Okay, so 30,000,
Cool.
okay. The other question was, and I know we talked about this, but I'm not remembering. For those that have landlines or to use email, are we able to do that too, or can they only have text?
Let's hold your proposal real quick. Emails, no, we don't do emails because.
Oh, okay, my
we
bad.
haven't seen kind of people use it.
Okay,
And we use stuff like that, but text messaging is just so powerful.
right,
It comes with the maps, but not with robocalls. So robocalls are a little more costly usually because you have to. That's how that works, right? So,
okay. I don't know that I have a whole lot
if
of,
you want to add robocalls, I think I can double check it, but
No.
about $35 a month more if you want to do it.
okay. No, I don't think we have that many people that still use a landline. I can access them in a different, notify them in a different way. But I misunderstood on the email, so I thank you for clarifying that. But the text, definitely, the 30,000 would work better for us.
I'll add that, send it back to the Bob Beavers that he emailed me today. So
Yes.
I can get back to him.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll put that 30,000 on, but thanks for clarifying on that. It's not a big cost share for us, so yeah, we can do it for free on any other questions?
I think that's all we have. Board, I think
Yeah,
that's
thank
it. I
you.
appreciate you for being available.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, that answered everybody's questions?
Yeah, I'm good with that
Are we
now.
okay with approving that, assuming Bob is okay with the corrections that he's gonna make on their legality
Yep.
situation we talked about with Utah and Indiana and et cetera? Okay, so that would be a cost of, what is it, $14.88?
A year,
$14.88 a year, and this would be a 3-year contract initially. And after that, we would do year by year basis, so. This is with Up Ahead is the name of the company, so. It's a text messaging notification software, so.
I'll make the motion to approve $14.88 a year for Up Ahead with any changes Bob may need to make.
Okay, there's a second.
I'll second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, we have with us tonight,
We need to authorize, since we're not actually signing it tonight, need to authorize either Nathan or I to sign that contract so we can get it.
I make a motion, we authorize Julie or Nathan to sign the contract when it's available.
Okay.
Second.
all in
Thank
favor,
you.
aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Now you can.
All right, we have with us tonight Mr. James Lawrence. He's the president of the Dublin Community Club, and he's going to talk to us about the upcoming summer event that they do. So I will turn the floor over to him.
Apologize for my tardiness. Them days. So what I'm handing out is a duplicate from last year, so I know some of you are new, weren't here last year. This is kind of our overview plan. Yeah, you can get one too. So the summer event, it's still getting bigger. This has been quite an undertaking, but it's growing. So far, I think we're up to 40 vendors.
Oh, wow.
So all of the ones that came last year were requesting to come back by the time they left. So they like how it starts at the end of July. It kind of kicks off everything. So we're kind of the first one for this area, for Hagerstown and Cambridge and all that. The plan still is the same, so some of the items on the back of the first page there, the park, the bathrooms at the softball diamond, if we get it mowed the Tuesday or Wednesday of that week. The couple changes that are going to occur this year is we're going to run it till 9 o'clock on Saturday night. There was quite a few people that came down towards the 5 o'clock cutoff last year, and they're closing down already because they thought it was over at 5, and people are, hey, I don't want to. We're going to do a car show in the community club parking lot So we're not gonna have all that extra stuff this year. Everything will be on the street. That for vendor wise, we'll move the food vendors out there as well. They know that they have to be self-sufficient since there's no utilities down there. So they know generators or portable water tanks or whatever, they know that they have to bring them. So that's the big thing. We do need to get the board's approval to close the street. We do work in conjunction with the county highway department to facilitate that. But since it is a town street at one end, county at the other end, we have to get permission from both of you.
What about a bounce house?
We had 2 last year. They were in between the basketball court, or in the area of the basketball court. We're waiting to hear back from them. Everything changes with insurance, so I know that we haven't heard back from any of them yet, the ones we contacted last year. We are going to have insurance that covers the event. We will pay for that. It will list the town as a payer. I don't know that technical term there. So the town will be covered by our insurance policy if something was to happen in the park or off the community club grounds. So that will all be taken care of. You won't have to worry about any of that.
You guys go through Bowman too?
Yeah. So Brad's our insurance
Yeah,
agent
he'll
as well,
yeah.
so he knows how to cover it so that you guys don't have to worry about any mishaps down there.
If you can just give her a letter, give Julie a letter, drop it
Yeah.
in the box up here just so we can have it on file.
Yeah, once I get the policy, I'll just bring it up
The
here to
Dublin-
you.
Okay, he may send
You may
it.
send it like
They're gonna have
last year.
bounce
Yeah,
house
that'll be
again.
fine.
Okay.
Lenny, do you know if there's any conflict of date with the softball league?
I don't think there's a conflict of date. I think the restrooms will be the only conflict with them. And I know that their big thing is gonna be, you know, the use of the toilet paper and the paper towels and the cleaning of it. So,
Is there hand dryers in there?
huh?
I thought there was electric hand dryers in there.
I don't know, I don't use it. So.
I think there's electric hand dryers in there, so they don't have to take
And
the towels.
if it needs to fall back on us to supply that stuff, that's fine. We just need to make sure they're open, because we just can't facilitate that many people through our 2 little bathrooms inside.
I would have to take that to the league themselves,
Right.
because I can't make that
So
decision.
you guys work that out amongst yourselves, but.
Yeah. So that would be the only thing. I know we don't have any games that day, I don't think, so. That would be the only thing that, you just have to reach out. I can mention it to them, and then, I can reach out to you or
Just let me know
something.
who the point of contact is for them, that way we can.
It would be Tamara.
Okay, still her, okay. Okay, yeah, we can do
When are
that.
you actually, I know you got the street closing at 7, but is there an actual start time for the day?
So that's gonna start, it's gonna run 9 to 9. That's that 2 hours for people to come in and set up. That way, because we're gonna close the road down, but still allow them to pull their vehicles in with their supplies, and then they have to pull them out of that, and then use the parking lot at the top of the hill there, and then around.
Well, let me run this past you, and I don't know 100% if we want to do it yet or not, but we need to have a ribbon cutting ceremony down there for the new playground grant that we got. So I wonder if we can incorporate all this into the same
And
day.
yeah, if you guys want to do that at the same time, I mean, there'll be a little more press coverage there, because there's already gonna be people down there, so.
That's what I'm thinking,
It'll
actually
be
having
well
it,
attended that way.
have it like as your opening ceremony for the day at like 8:45 or 9
Yeah,
o'clock or
you wanna
whatever.
do. That's fine, yeah. We
Yeah,
can
that's-
definitely incorporate that.
You know, try to get as many people as we can in the park at the same time would be the ideal thing.
Yeah. I
Are you
completely
guys
agree.
planning on any bands or music?
We haven't done that yet. We're just gonna run like background music, for lack of better words. We do have another project in the making. We want to be able to extend this into the park here in the future. We've gotten a donation from Belden of 1,000 feet of that outdoor gray speaker wire. So we have that hopeful plan in the future. I mean, it's not gonna happen this year by any means. And then Softball Diamond has their own PA system. This will just expand it through the whole park. So that way you can have, more people hear it. then we can use it on our end for going back the other way.
Have you guys talked about if this will be a rain or shine event, or if it rains, we just cancel it?
We haven't. We can move some of them into the building, but we could not accommodate 40 vendors inside. There's just not enough room. So it's probably gonna be a talk to them if it's gonna rain out. Maybe we'll work it Sunday. Our insurance is a 3-day coverage, so it's gonna last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the whole weekend, in case somebody, God forsaken, gets hurt the day before doing something. Other than that, we'll just have to cancel it for the day and then hope again next year.
Okay. And I guess when it gets closer to time and when you find out the exact details, you know, we can put that on our new reach alert that we'll have at that time, so.
Yep, so, any questions?
That sounds great.
The other question that I have is, says multiple town-owned trash cans. The cans we own are the ones that are in the park.
Okay.
So
That was enough last year.
Yeah, what we did last year was Big B donated us a dumpster. I don't know how Rumpke's gonna play this year. I haven't had much dealings with them yet, other than getting our schedule for our dumpster currently. I don't really think we used it a whole lot, and with the car show going on, I don't think there's a need for another dumpster. I just know that they're probably going to use those.
okay, well,
So-
and I was just saying that because I do have access. I think we still have 2 that are out at the north building, and Cambridge called me 2 weeks ago and asked me if I wanted any of the rest of those. They're going to get rid of all of them, so I told them I'd take a few more. But we can set those up, just to kind of keep the trash up, and then we'll take those up afterward. So, because, you know, we'd rather pull bags and move cans than we would to walk around picking trash up all day.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to have those on hand, because it sounds like we may be having our own little Dublin days.
Yeah,
So,
it's just, the
it
response
sounds-
is great, so I'm hoping to grow this. I mean, there's only one way we can grow it, that's towards the apartment buildings, so we just get into parking problems if we get too big. That's, you know, logistically, I don't know how else to combat that, if we were to grow too much more. So, but it's something to look for, you know.
When you guys meet, would you want him to come to your meeting?
Yeah, he would probably need to come and address that with them.
That way you can talk about parking on the lot and opening up the bathrooms and make sure there's no games, and or if you even wanted to have maybe a tournament that day or something, to bring in more people. But let you guys work all that out, so.
Sure. Okay, anything, questions about the club or anything else?
No?
So do you want to go ahead and approve the road closure tonight, or do you
If
want
we
to wait and come
can, and
back?
then we're gonna get hold of the county highway in this week. At the end of this week, I gotta call in to Mike, so he'll have to give us the blessing for the other end of it.
Okay. So this would be Milton Street, basically from the apartments to Marguerite's house on Foundry, so. Same as last year, but
Yeah.
we own some, the county owns some, so we gotta do our part. It would be the full street that would be closed, so.
Are you gonna close it from here then?
Well, down here.
It'll
You're on
close
Main
at the
Street.
curb. just
It'll
because-
actually be closed right there. I mean, we can put a warning sign up here so they don't turn down there.
How do we get this parking lot?
Well, yeah, the parking lot will be open, but through traffic won't be able to drive through.
No through traffic.
Yeah. The county did provide us some barricades last year that we were able to put at both ends of the road, so he just dumped them off. We put them up where we needed them, and then.
That's actually where everybody's gonna be parking, as long as the softball folks are happy, because otherwise there's nowhere else to park.
Yeah, I make a motion to close the road for the Dublin event on July 26th.
All right, there's a
I'll
motion,
second.
second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Thank
Keep up the good work, sir. Keep us posted as much as you can, and
Oh, yes.
How did the water
There's some-
work out with this last rain? You have any trouble?
We had no water inside. So, thank you for the drain pylon that went down the back. We had 2 spots, but I think it's coming up through the floor, which is another project we have been undertaking for.
we had a lot of rain.
Yeah, we should hear back from the county foundation and Reed Health about some grants. We applied for new grants this cycle. The first one will get the bathrooms remodeled and make them ADA compliant. And then the Wayne County Foundation grant was to actually resurface the entire skate floor, even it out and.
With
seal.
concrete, not wood yet.
Yeah, not wood yet.
Not yet.
Wood costs way too much.
Yeah, we found that out.
So,
You'll remember we did put some new exterior doors on the building down there, and since then, we had them come back and make some repairs, and I don't think they invoiced us, and I don't think they were planning on it, so that was a good thing. But they had a, what is called a brush guard on the bottom of the door that was jacked up, so they replaced that. And then also, we had them put some, we'll call them just locking closures on the door. So actually, when you open the door up all the way, it would hold the door open. And so that keeps from scratching the doors all up when you're trying to take tables and chairs out. So they came and replaced that at no cost to us. So that was a very nice gesture.
speaking
And
of
Lenny
doors,
has promised me by the end of the week he's going to get that door out of your room. So
thank you. I mean, that is your door, so I don't know.
yeah, he'll take care of it. Okay, anything else from the community club? Skates going good on the weekends?
We're averaging around 50.
Great.
50 on Saturdays, about 30 on Fridays. The warm days are obviously going to dwindle that, but private bookings, we're booked all the way through June already this year, which is way more than last year.
Nice.
It cut off the end of April last year with private bookings, but I have maybe 2 weekends left in June. So word's getting out. We're getting people that are driving from Shelbyville to bring their kids here for open skates on a religious basis. So it's good.
Awesome.
Good.
Yeah, I like it.
Keep the little town vibrant, so I like it.
That's the goal.
Okay. I believe we've hit all items on the agenda. Anyone have anything else before we talk about the finances? Okay. We'll need a motion to approve to pay the bills.
Make a motion to pay the bill.
All right, is there a second?
I second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The last thing of the evening would be the financial report. Is there anything that we should be concerned with, ma'am?
No.
Everything's looking good, so
Motion to approve the financials.
I'll second it.
all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn approved. We will see you next month.